watching this video, you're either a fan of the channel or you're thinking about buying or have already bought a Scion FRS, Subaru BRZ, or Toyota GT86. These are all amazing cars. They happen to be my favorite car, really under 100 grand. And that might sound crazy when there's so many crazy good options out there, but I've had mine for about 4 years, give or take now, and it has been an absolute blast. And today, I'm here to go over the ultimate guide to building your Scion FRS or BRZ or GT86, whichever one you got, they're all the same. So let's start at the very beginning. If you don't even have the car yet, which one should you buy? Well, they're all pretty good. The only one that I would consider avoiding is the 2013 model year. That is only because this is the only model year to have the valve spring recall. Basically, you have to take it to the dealership, they perform the recall, and it's really a hit or miss. I've heard things go very well, or things don't, and your engine blows up like within 100 miles. But don't worry, if you have already bought a 2013 and you're thinking about modifying it, don't fret, because I bought a 2013 without even knowing any of this stuff, and I got the recall, and everything turned out okay. So that would be the only thing I would say whenever purchasing one. Obviously, the newer, you're going to have less problems, but at the end of the day, it's a Subaru, so it's always fingers crossed when you're rolling down the road. Now let's move on to modifications. You've bought the car already, and now you're looking to start off your modification journey. Let's start at the front of the car with headlights. There's a lot of different headlight options. Personally, I started with the Spec D headlight. I thought it was the best on the market. I loved the boomerang style design, and I rocked that for about 2.5 years or so. Then when I bought my car back, I decided to switch it up a bit. The V-Land headlights came out, and I thought that was the new best looking headlight for the platform, so I now run those. So I would highly recommend the V-Land headlights or the Spec Ds if you're not into the more angular shape of the V-Lands. But there are also other options. There's one that's sort of a Lexus design, where the little check marks in the corner of the headlight instead of the outside. Not too sure what those are called off the top of my head, but I'll throw a picture up on the screen. And there are some other options as well. I'll pop them up here, but I would say Spec D or V-Land if you want to go with a very high quality, good looking headlight. And I think with the V-Lands you can get HID bulbs as well to really brighten up the road, because that is a little bit of an issue when you move on to aftermarket headlights. Now, one of my favorite things about these cars is that wide body kits look absolutely amazing on them. I personally have the Pandem version 3 on my car, and it looks stunning. Only thing is don't break anything or hit any possums in the road, because getting new parts for this kit can get very expensive. But all of that aside, let's talk about the best looking kits for this platform. I'm biased, but I'm going to have to say the Pandem version 3 is the way to go. It just brings the car a whole nother level of craziness look. No one else looks like that driving down the road. All the other stock non-wide body FRS BRZs are going to have to look at you, and my God, is it something to look at. So Pandem version 3 is good. Street Hunter also came out with a very good looking kit. I don't like it as much, but it does look absolutely crazy UFO-like. And the Robot Craftsman is a third choice. Of obviously throwing pictures up on the screen, but I would say stay away from the fender flare only kits. I know there's some like aim gain. I even think the Rocket Bunny V1 kit doesn't come with a front bumper. So if you're going to get a wide body kit, make sure it's for the whole car. Get a new front bumper, the fenders, side skirts, rear fenders, and the big wing that all connect with each other, or else it just kind of looks funky and looks kind of homemade. Now if you have those kits, not throwing any shade, but they just don't look as good as the full kits, and I don't think that's too hot of a take. So I would say Pandem, Street Hunter, or Robot Craftsman if you're going to go with the wide body kit. Now, the age-old question, bags or coilovers? Now, I personally run bags on my car for the sake of, if I need it, at least I have it. Now, coilover companies have gotten so much more advanced than whenever I bought my bags that you can even get some with the little cups in the front that can raise the car, which is really all you need. Bags, you run into leaking problems. When it gets cold, everything shrinks, and that can cause some weird things to happen. Your controller can die, which is what happened to me, and then you're pretty much just stuck at the height at whatever it died at. And then you run into bags popping, lines breaking, stuff that you don't have to worry about with coilovers. But if you don't have the cups, you run into the problem of just kind of eating whatever the road has to throw at you. And if you're going down too steep of an incline in that very low, wide body kit with an expensive front bumper, bags are kind of your best friend because you can just air up, get out of that parking lot, or go around that speed bump, and you'll be a-okay. So, I mean, bags are more expensive, but just for the sake of, if I need them, I have them, that's what I would personally go with. And who doesn't love airing out if you have some crazy fitment at a car meet, just slamming that thing to the ground? That's a personal preference kind of thing, but I would say bags. But coils, I've often thought about just switching over to them just to avoid all of the what-if scenarios when driving with bags almost on a daily basis. Now, wheels are another thing that we're going to have to worry about when modifying our FRS or BRZ. I personally have Forge Star M14s on my wide-body FRS, but I mean, you can't go wrong with something like a TE or BBS, or I don't know, there's hundreds of wheel brands out there. You just have to make sure they are the right size with the right size tire, or you're going to run into rubbing issues. Now, I've been dealing with that on mine for the entirety of the time my car's been wide body. I still haven't figured out a solution. I don't know if my wheels are too big, my tires are too tall or wide. I wish someone around me that I personally knew was a genius when it comes to the fitment versus the kit. I just don't know. So that is kind of a gray area for me, but I mean, you can't go wrong with something deep dish with a crazy design. There are so many wheel options out there that it's kind of hard to go wrong unless you go with something like really wild looking that no one's ever done before. But I mean, these cars and kits mesh really well with each other, so it's just kind of personal preference. Once again, just make sure you get the right size wheel and tire so you don't run into rubbing issues. And if any of you are professionals out there, please shoot me a message on Instagram, because I would like to never rub again. And I've owned a few wide body cars now, and it's just always been an issue. So just hashtag wide body things is something you gotta live with, or know your stuff. Next up, everything's almost done on the exterior except a couple things. So let's talk about maybe some carbon hoods or trunks that you can go with that really spice up the look of your car. I would say Cybon is a great website to go to browse the options of carbon hood and trunks. I personally have one that has a vent that more air can get into the engine bay because mine is supercharged, but we'll get to that in a second. But there are lots of good designs. I personally like this other one where it's like slotted a couple times on the hood on both sides. There's some with one larger vent in the middle of the hood, kind of like a 488 Pista look-alike. Or the one I personally have looks pretty good as well. All of these are great options. I'll leave a link to all of this stuff that I'm talking about in the description below, so you can go browse for yourself. Everyone's got different tastes, and see what you like best. As far as trunks, there's not too many options. If you don't run a giant rear wing or something that you've got to drill into the trunk to mount, there is a little duckbill carbon trunk add-on kind of thing, or you just go with a OEM style carbon trunk. That's what I also run, and it looks fantastic. So carbon hood and trunk, Cybon is your place. Or if you don't want to spend all that money, just go to Alibaba and they look the same. That's coming from someone that paid the price and bought the Cybon stuff. But I've seen Alibaba carbon fiber, and it looks pretty dang similar. So if you want to save some money, there's another route for you. The last one is taillights. I don't really know names of too many taillights. I've had the same ones the entire time on my car. The Lamborghini Aventador is my favorite car, so the Aventador-esque style taillights are the ones that I went with from day one. I actually think that was the first modification I ever did on the car. So Buddy Club, I believe, made those, but there are also a bunch of other brands that have a little outline, the one that everyone gets. But I mean, I don't see too many different kinds of taillights for these cars. But once again, I'll throw some pictures up on the screen and maybe some links in the description to go choose which one you're thinking about for your own car. Now let's talk about stuff having to do with the engine. Should you go supercharger or turbocharger, or neither? Well, this is a personal preference as well. I would say from owning a supercharged FRS for the better half of probably 2 years now, I would say the Edelbrock supercharger isn't really worth it. I barely notice any difference, as much as like just a OBD2 tune off the shelf, and it is quite expensive to do these things. So Edelbrock doesn't make too much noise as well. You can barely hear anything, if at all. So that's kind of a negative side. If you're gonna supercharge these cars, I would say personally get the Vortec. That's all the whooshy crazy sounds that you want if you're spending $6,000–7,000 to get this kit and have it installed. Yeah, learn from my mistake. I personally wouldn't go Edelbrock, but I have seen a couple whine mods that you can do to these, and I just don't understand how you're supposed to do it, but apparently they sound like this. Make my car sound like that, I would probably be okay with keeping it like this, but I mean, Vortec just sounds so crazy that, I mean, who doesn't want the whooshiness when they're driving around?
Hell yeah.
Now as far as turbo, there's like HKS kit, I'm pretty sure is very popular. And then a lot of just like different kind of turbo manifolds and different setups that you can go with. I've ridden in one turbocharged FRS, and that was a lot more fun than the supercharger feels. I think it's because when the boost hits, you can actually feel a little bit of a jump as opposed to the very linear progression of power that the superchargers have. So it's all personal preference once again. I think turbochargers are a little bit less reliable. Superchargers are a little bit more reliable, and it being a Subaru engine and the whole rod bearing thing, I like to keep my pistons inside my engine, so I want the supercharger. Totally up to you, but before you buy it, you should know the pros and cons of both sides. Now lastly, exhaust setup from the outside of the car. There's a bajillion different options to go with on this one. Pretty much, if you want to be loud, obnoxious, let everyone know you're coming, unequal length headers and a tome is probably the loudest combination you can get on these cars. And my God, it's loud. Not necessarily the best sounding car ever, but it is definitely loud. I've ran unequal length headers in an NVIDIA N1 catback for the whole time this car has been mine, and I had to put like the silencers in the exhaust because I bought this car when I was like 17, and now I'm coming up on 27, and it is just a little bit too loud for my taste these days. If you don't care about that kind of stuff, you just want to be loud as possible, unequal length headers, you can get any single brand, it's all the same stuff. And then a Tome or an NVIDIA if you want a little bit more muffle. But there are some other things you can just straight pipe it to. These cars aren't hard, just one singular pipe out the back. It shoots flames, it's crazy loud, it'll wake everybody up. But if you want to be kind of loud, maybe don't get the headers, just a catback, and they'll sound nice, and you don't have to worry about getting a headache every time you drive the car. So there's a couple different options for you depending on whether you want to be off the wall 11 or a modest like 5 or 6 when you're driving around. I feel like that's enough talking about the outside of the car. Let's move on to the interior. This car doesn't need too much stuff done inside. It already looks amazing. I love the gauge clusters. I love the seats as well. You can always get some Recaros in there if you like, but I mean the stock seats are pretty comfortable on these. I would say one thing it needs is a carbon fiber steering wheel. Really any kind will do. I'll leave some links in the description for them. Doesn't get too crazy. Maybe you want blue, maybe you want red, maybe you want the little stripe at the top. It's all personal preference. Along with that, Starlight headliner. It's a pretty fun and pretty inexpensive thing to do to these cars, and it can be something you can even do at home. There's plenty of videos online. You just have to have some patience and then get that headliner out of the car somehow without creasing it. I got mine for about 350 bucks installed. So I mean, it's not the craziest, smoothest thing in the world, but it does the job at night, and there's stars in the roof. I'll also leave links to that in the description so you guys can go check it out for yourself. Pretty easy DIY thing, and it really changes the look of the car a lot at night, and I like it a lot. Well, that's pretty much everything to go from stock FRS or BRZ to an absolute hot boy. Let me know if I missed anything, and let me know if you want me to do another one of these videos on a different car. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.